We kind of got it together in like 72 hours. We were in the front office. We were having meetings. We were talking about improving the bullpen, and which was part of our, our target, for the off season. Get a backup catcher, try to improve the pen, and so we started looking at the prices of some of the relievers, and we just said, look, maybe we should just think about Hader. And then we started putting it together. We talked to Jim Crane, and then we really got it going. And, we got it done, so we were really excited, to add him to the back end.
How much was that? It happened, of course, after the Kendall Graven news, and we knew you guys were going to have to replace some people in the bullpen, a lot of innings missed from free agents that you're having right now. Then Kendall Graven goes down. Was that something that became a catalyst for this move?
No, not at all. As I said before, our targets were backup catcher, bullpen help. Even before we heard about the Graveman news, we were talking about getting bullpen help because we had lost Naris, we had lost
Stanek,
Maton and Stanek. So at the end of the day, we were like, we got to improve this bullpen. And so, adding Hader to the back end is really, it's an exciting time for us.
I know you had a chance to meet with the media here already. Something that we've been discussing since the moment this deal came together, and he's going to become a part of this bullpen, is you have the best postseason closer in maybe baseball history in Ryan Pressly, and conversations were held with Pressly, with management, a little bit about where this might be headed. Is that accurate?
Absolutely. Pressly is outstanding. He's a true professional. He's done some great things in this organization. Closed out some big games in the postseason. So, I wanted to make sure I showed him the respect to, give him a phone call and say, hey, look, this is what we're thinking about. And as I said, he's a true professional. He said, look, if this is going to help us and we're going to get better and we get a chance to get back to the World Series, he was all in. So he gave us his blessing.
All in obviously has to happen from ownership. And, the way Jim Crane has operated this team, there's been a bunch of different moves that he's said, let's go ahead and do this over the last, time of his ownership. Was this something that took a lot of conversation, something he was behind from the get-go? How did that go?
Well, we put it together probably within 72 hours. So we sat down with him. We told him what this meant and what it could do for the club. And he said, I'm in. And so we got busy. We started talking to the agent, and we got the deal done.
I want to go back to the trade deadline because there was a couple of reports out from some baseball writers that you guys were trying to look at some San Diego starters and a closer. Obviously, Blake Snell, and I'm just assuming Blake Snell.
This guy's pretty smart.
And Josh Hader. So when Josh Hader's name came back around over the last 72 hours, is that what we could have seen at the trade deadline if it would have been possible?
Yeah, if it was possible. I don't think they were sellers at the time because they thought that they were, still had a chance to get in, and they did. They had a really good team, and they were, pedal to the metal. And then when the offseason came, I initially called the agent. We started to talk about Hader, and then, we were checking prices and things like that. And so, we put it on the back burner and said, look, this guy's, probably going to be expensive. And then as guys started to sign, it started to, set the stage about, what the price would be. And so we circled back with the agent and ended up getting it done.
Yeah, and now as you look across all of baseball, there are a lot of teams with a lot of perennial closers. But now, arguably, you have the best 7, 8, 9, whatever combo Joe Espada uses in all of baseball.
Yeah, I truly feel our three guys at the back end are in the top 15 in bullpen, in the game. So to have three guys on one team at the, that are in the top 15, we feel really good about that. And make no mistake, all those guys can close out games. So, you don't have to, close Hader 3 games in a row. You don't have to close Pressly 3 games in a row. You can give Hader 2 games, you can give Pressly a game or 2, and before you know it, you may have to give Abreu a game. So they can all close out games, and when you have 3 closers at the back end, it's pretty special. It kind of reminds me of 2015 when Kansas City had those the 3-headed monster at the back end. They were really good, so it's an exciting time.
Astros manager Dana Brown with us here on News Radio 740 KTRH and our Astros Fan Fest Spectacular, as we call it. So now you mentioned the backup catcher, bullpen, that type of stuff. How are you feeling about the club right now as far as we head into spring training and things you're looking at as far as potential needs, or are you feeling pretty good?
Feel really good about the club right now. We still, have some guys that we're going to look at, for that 5th, 6th inning in the middle. Some of those innings where Maytime was pitching, and maybe some of those innings where Stanek was pitching. We feel like we have some internal candidates that are pretty good. However, we're still in the market. If we can improve this club somehow, if something comes up, if we get creative and try to improve this club, we will do it. So, we want to get back to the World Series.
Two of the guys that were added, you mentioned backup catcher was obviously a focus. Curious, tell me behind the additions of both the Dylan Coleman acquisition for the bullpen and what maybe your expectations are with what you guys can work on with him because of what his pitching assets are, and obviously adding Victor Caratini.
Yeah, we were looking at the 2022 of Coleman. He threw really well. And, our guys are really good. Our pitching guys are really good. I give them credit. Josh Miller and Murph, those guys are really good at figuring out from a data and information standpoint, what can this guy do to improve? And we feel like they could make some adjustments with Coleman. And so that's why we went after him. And just getting a guy like Caratini, this is a guy that can actually start on some clubs. So, if we get to a point where, we need to rest Diaz for 2 days, we can do it. If Diaz get banged up on a foul ball or a foul tip, you know what, and he has to sit out for 4 or 5 days, Caratini can play every day. He's a switch hitting catcher, and he's pretty good. So we felt really good about, the two big pieces that we added, backup catcher and also improving the pen.